have cancer. It's weird just saying that out loud. Just the word itself becomes a black hole. My name is Niki Clark, and I am a writer for a humanitarian agency. Being able to tell other people's stories, I think, is the privilege of a lifetime. I was actually on my way to Malawi, and when I was packing, I found a lump. I went in, and the woman told me that I had cancer. I went through chemo, I went through radiation, I had a double mastectomy. After 5 years, then if I wanted to try and have children, I could. I have my daughter Ellis, who is going to be 3 in October. I actually had gotten pregnant again, and the entire pregnancy was very different. I couldn't breathe, I was exhausted, I had excruciating back pain.
And she had gone to see several doctors, and they all just kind of wrote everything off as, well, you're pregnant, of course your back hurts, of course you're having a hard time breathing.
6 weeks before I was due, I called my OBGYN and I told him I couldn't deal with this pain for another 6 weeks. They bring me to the hospital in Dover. They set me up in what I realized later was the labor and delivery ward. And a doctor came in, and he looked at me and he told me that I had stage 4 breast cancer and that my child had to be born, that they were going to take her by emergency C-section in 2 days' time.
There's not only the risk of losing my sister and my best friend and my soulmate, but also my niece's mother.
One of the problems was she had a lot of fluid on her lungs, which can happen with breast cancers. She needed delivery, but again, with the condition of her lungs, they did not know if she was going to make it.
I was like, this is not my story. This is not my daughter's story. This is not how this is going to go. And the doctor looked at me and was like, you're right. We're going to make this okay. And I had an emergency C-section. I had a spinal surgery to relieve pain from a tumor that I had.
She was in a lot of pain. And it was a classic picture of pain in the leg that we see when a person has a herniated disc. But this would be a even deeper, boring pain because it was also pain from the bone itself being expanded.
And I had an orthopedic surgery to brace my leg for upcoming radiation.
So there was a lot to consider, a lot of phone calls and meetings with other doctors. Because you can't just do neurosurgery on someone with cancer in a vacuum. It takes everybody. Everybody has to participate. And in this case, everything came together beautifully, and praise God, it wasn't her time.
This is supposed to be the absolute worst situation that's ever happened to me. Yet somehow it feels like these have been the best days of my life. I remember when I was a little bit more mobile, they brought me down to the NICU to see my daughter, Phoebe. And she was sitting in my lap, and I was making her all these kinds of big promises about the long life that we had ahead of us. And that we were going to have so many adventures, and I loved her so much. And that I was going to be here for a really long time. And the fact that I'm not lying to her is because of those doctors. It's because of those staff. There's not any words to properly express that you have given my daughters their mother. It was clear to me that the people of Bay Health had, number one, a commitment to me and to my children.